What if Bismarck fought King George V 1v1? May 1941. The Atlantic Ocean is about to witness the most brutal naval execution in history. The German battleship Bismarck, Hitler's ultimate weapon, is dead in the water, cornered by an entire British armada. But history books lied to you. The British claimed their flagship, HMS King George V, easily crushed the German Titan. But what they conveniently left out is that Bismarck was already blind, crippled, and unable to steer before the final battle even began. So, let's strip away the propaganda. Let's erase the British torpedo bombers, the Royal Navy cruisers, and the luck. What if these two apex predators met in a flat-out, 1-versus-1, winner-takes-all deathmatch in the open ocean, both fully operational, both hunting for blood? Would Bismarck truly rule the waves? Or would Britain's ultimate treaty battleship prove that engineering beats brute force? The answer is not what you think, and the fatal flaw of one of these ships will leave you speechless. To understand who survives, we must look at what they brought to the arena. And right off the bat, Germany cheated. Under international treaties, battleships were strictly capped at 35,000 tons. Great Britain, playing by the rules, built HMS King George V or KGV right at that limit. But Hitler, he didn't care. Bismarck was a monstrous 42,000-ton heavyweight. Bismarck carried 8 massive 380mm guns. These weapons were terrifying. They fired highly aerodynamic, 800-kilogram shells at blistering speeds. Bismarck's fire control was mechanical poetry, fast, deadly accurate, and controlled by world-class optical rangefinders. But look at the British challenger. KGV entered the ring with smaller 356mm guns. Sounds like a disadvantage, right? Not so fast. The British engineered a radical solution. They packed 10 guns onto the ship using massive, unique 4-gun turrets. In a single broadside, KGV could throw 10 shells against Bismarck's 8. In the brutal mathematics of naval warfare, more steel in the air usually means more destruction. But as we are about to see, Britain's radical engineering hit a catastrophic nightmare. Before the first shell is even fired, we have to look at how these titans took a punch. This is where the tactics of this duel get fascinating, because their armor philosophies were completely opposite. Bismarck utilized the legendary German turtleback armor design. Imagine an internal sloped armored deck shaped like a turtle shell inside the ship. If a shell hits Bismarck's side at close range, it penetrates the outer wall, hits that steep internal slope, and ricochets away from the vital engines and magazines. It made Bismarck virtually unsinkable at close quarters. But the turtleback had a massive, hidden weakness: long-range fire. At distances over 20 kilometers, shells don't hit the side of a ship, they fall from the sky like meteors. And Bismarck's top deck armor was dangerously thin. Now look at KGV. The British went with the all-or-nothing scheme. They built a massive, thick armored box around the ship's vital organs. It offered incredible protection against those plunging, long-range shells. So, the stage is set. KGV wants a long-range sniper duel. Bismarck wants a close-range brawl. Who gets their way? Let's play the simulation. The distance is 24 kilometers. The two steel monsters spot each other on radar. Bismarck has the speed advantage, 30 knots against KGV's 28. This means Bismarck dictates the terms of the engagement. But the British open fire first. A wall of 10 British shells roars toward the German raider. At this distance, KGV's heavy plunging fire is lethal. A shell punches right through Bismarck's upper deck, knocking out her forward radar and severing electrical lines. Bismarck's eyes are partially blinded. The German crew responds instantly. Their optics are untouched. Bismarck's guns roar. Because of their incredible rate of fire, the Germans reload faster than the British. Straddles. Water columns erupt all around KGV. A German 380mm shell smashes into KGV's superstructure, wiping out the bridge electronics. And right here, at the turning point of the battle, disaster strikes the Royal Navy. Remember those brilliant 4-gun turrets? They were a mechanical disaster in reality. Due to overly complex safety hatches designed to prevent fires, the machinery was prone to jamming under the violent shock of firing. Suddenly, KGV's turret jams. Just like that, Britain's firepower drops by 40%. The British sailors are frantically working with crowbars in the dark, while Bismarck is turning the ocean into a living hell. With the British guns choking, Bismarck closes the distance to 14 kilometers. Now, they are in the German sweet spot. At this range, Bismarck's turtleback armor is completely impenetrable to the remaining British guns. KGV fights bravely, but it's an execution. German shells smash into KGV's unarmored bow, flooding the ship and slowing her down. Minutes later, another German shell pierces the British waterline. So, what is the ultimate verdict of the Iron Wave simulation? In a strict one-on-one duel, Bismarck wins 65% of the time. While King George V was a masterpiece of treaty engineering, it's overcomplicated. Unreliable guns were its death sentence. In a real, brutal duel to the death, mechanical reliability beats theoretical firepower every single time. Bismarck would have left the British flagship burning at the bottom of the Atlantic. But what do you think? Could British grit have overcome the German steel? Let me know in the comments below, smash that like button, and subscribe to Iron Waves for more uncovered naval history. Until next time, fighters.